What's going on, guys? This is Weekly Reviews here with Gamer Fusion, and today we have some news to go ahead and talk about, which is for Rayman Legends that is coming to the Xbox One and the PS4, and basically how Digital Foundry has actually stated that Rayman Legends on the Wii U is still the definitive version according to Digital Foundry. Now, in an actual article from Eurogamer, which I'm going to include in the link below in the description, they basically had a talk with Digital Foundry and actually got some word about what they thought about for the so-called enhancements for the PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game. So, as stated by them, Ubisoft's decision to port Rayman Legends to the PS4 and Xbox One is a somewhat curious choice, then given that the title already delivers a solid 1080 60-frame experience on last-gen systems. With the existing art looking suitably crisp and clear, there's little to suggest a need for a graphic overhaul. Instead, the decision to bring the game over to the next-gen consoles seems to have more to do with maximizing the title's potential audience and revenue stream, as opposed to delivering a dramatic leap forward in visual quality. That said, Ubisoft is promising a few refinements with the next-gen versions of Rayman Legends, including faster loading times and the use of uncompressed textures across the game's 3D models. But are the changes worth upgrading for, and has anything been done to take advantage of the PS4 and Xbox One's unique features in the form of the DualShock 4 touchpad and the Kinect's audio and motion sensing abilities? In an actual first impression, Digital Foundry stated that first impressions reveal that the basic rendering setup doesn't appear to have changed from the last gen version of the game, with Rayman Legends adopting a native 1080 frame buffer on both the PS4 and Xbox One without any anti-aliasing on its 3D elements. While the lack of edge smoothing comes across as something of a missed opportunity considering the extra rendering bandwidth and available RAM compared to the 360, PS3, and Wii U versions, jaggies are never an issue due to the way the predominantly sprite-based artwork is displayed alongside various effects, such as depth of field and bloom. Outside of a few new characters, a limited use of the touchpad on the PS4's DualShock, there's no real reason to upgrade to the Xbox One and PS4 versions of Rayman Legends if you already own the game on other formats. Visual upgrades are close to non-existent, and experience is basically the same as the existing PS3, Xbox 360, and PC of the version of the game. Even the audio remains in stereo, just as it did on all the other versions we've tested. However, if you've yet to take the plunge to the PS4 and Xbox One versions, offer up a further opportunity to play what was undoubtedly one of the finest games of 2013. All of which leads us to an interesting conclusion. Despite the enormous leap in power the new consoles represent, in our opinion, it's the Wii U version of Rayman Legends that remains the definitive edition of the game. While the title taking advantage of the gamepad's unique features in ways that genuinely add variety and more fun to the gameplay. Let's not forget that while this game may have been ported to a vast range of different hardware platforms, it started out life as a Wii U exclusive, built around the unique capabilities of the system. Indeed, it's the Nintendo console that offers the experience that the developers originally intended for the game, before the last-minute switch to a multi-platform release. Meanwhile, the versions of Rayman Legends offer an equally superb experience for those who aren't keen on some of the quirky control features on the Wii U. The PS4 and Xbox One editions serve up a tiny slice of extra content in the form of new characters and a barely noticeable bump in texture clarity in some scenes. But these additions aren't worth paying a premium for over the heavily discounted previous versions of the game. So guys, what do you really think about this? Are you going to still purchase Rayman Legends when it eventually comes out to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, or are you going to be sticking around with your original copies? Please go ahead and let us know in the comments below, and thanks again to Eurogamer.net for providing us with this information. And once again, guys, this has been Weekly Reviews with Gamer Fusion, telling you guys that Gamer Fusion empowers your gaming.